Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Blossom here once again, and I'm from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, and I am the leader of course from the likes of the Powerpuff Girls universe. So, yeah ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe via the new Super Luigi U game for the Nintendo Switch. I almost got my tongue twisting in the end. So anyways though, last time we actually did manage to once again rescue Princess Peach, but this time around though, we actually did manage to take control of Peachette, even though in the end, we didn't able to actually rescue Peach with Peachette though, because of that giant Bowser almost catches me off guard in a dead end on that specific point. But either way though, despite the fact though, we actually did the world dates pretty fine, even though despite the fact that in forms of current event level, they did give me a lot of troubles, especially with the forms of that, you know, that specific paragliding or that parachuting bomb. But anyways though, so today for this episode and this point, this is going to be a grand finale of not only just the forms of the new Super Luigi U mode, but the entirety of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So naturally, we're almost done with the forms of the entire game. I would possibly show off some extra features in the end, which it still might be possible, but I'm not going to go through any kind of modes, but the forms of challenge modes, or in this case boost rush mode, or even coin battle as a result. So naturally speaking, that we are essentially getting close towards the end until, well, I'll discuss more details as soon as we're able to get into the forms of the 9th world in this game, by the forms of Superstar Road. In this case, one of the most toughest worlds in the entirety of New Super Luigi U game itself. So, yeah, let's get started right there by the forms of Spine Coaster Connections. So, even then though, once again I got to go through like switching between characters and all that stuff. So naturally speaking then, everything else will be, you know, twice as fast as it used to be. Especially because of how the fact that, well, since this is going to be the final main world, or the final world in New Super Luigi U, or in this case in the majority of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for the time, so naturally we are getting close towards the end. So, I'm very surprised about this, because I know for a fact that most people out there saying that how the fact that we need to move on to the Sonic videos at this point, well, the truth is that Sonic still need to get back into Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed before when Team Sonic Racing is about to be coming out. But I'm guessing that he might actually do that at some point in March or sometime in February, which is as far as what Sonic told me. But I don't know exactly when is he going to come back onto it though. But even then though, we'll find out and see what happens there. So even then though, I've somehow accidentally missed that one last star coin from that level, just because I really can't refuse to able to actually take that one last hitbox death, because if I do, then I have to redo the entire level over again. So even then though, that's the only thing I need to possibly point things out. So even then though, let's just head into this Toad House right there, because I think we do need to get ourselves my propeller mushroom, so I might as well able to use that at some point. So we'll go ahead and do that. And it doesn't matter, because I don't think we can able to use the penguin suit for the time being, because essentially we've only got 9 more levels to go. Well, truth be told, almost 9 levels to go, because obviously because of how the fact that I was off by 1 star coin left by the forms of that one specific level. But anyways though, yeah, today was actually forms of the 28th of January in 2019. We only got 1 day to go until Kingdom Hearts 3, specifically the English version of the game, has finally been released. So yes, it's been about, well, I would say it's been about 13 years since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and even then, I'm really glad that Kingdom Hearts 3 exists, because either way though, it's going to be mainly intense, and especially noticeable, it's going to be much more bigger than the forms of how it does it in the forms of the other Kingdom Hearts games. So even then, can't wait to see how this will go. So even then though, again, I will play that on day 1, so naturally speaking, I'm super hyped for it. So even then though, yeah, everything's all accounted for. So yeah, whatever, I'll take invincibility frames for that 3rd and final star coin. Actually, to be honest with you guys, I'm probably not going to go through like any kind of jump cuts for this point, because I'm pretty sure we've all settled in when it comes to like jump cuts in mind, because the majority of the levels from, you know, New Super Luigi U is really short. So even then, that way we can able to actually go from there. So I guess that goes that. Alright, so now let's move on, and let's go ahead and switch over now to Yellow Toad, and we'll go through Superstar Road Dash 2, probably the 3rd difficult level in this world for New Super Luigi U to be most exactly. which is P-Switch Peril, which is basically run for it, except the fact that now we have to deal with the instant death crush cubes. So even then though, at least we've seen these particular objects, at least ever since the forms of Roy's Castle. So even then, this time however though, it's going to be takes place in a somewhat of a sunset, cloudy looking level, but at least I might as well able to do this on my first attempt, so let's see how this goes with my timing skills and what have you, because again, I'm quite professional here, and wow, that was really close. In fact, thanks to that little mid-air spin, at least they give me some little bit of a help, right there, and especially because of how the fact that, well, you know. Alright, so this last few stretches from here, and oh, looks like I done it on my first attempt. How about that? And of course, it doesn't matter if you missed out from that third and final star coin, because you can essentially come back for it. So even then though, yeah, we are done from here. So there we go. Wow, I cannot believe I actually felt impressive with myself for able to actually not to get too many deaths on it whatsoever. Wow, up until when we get to when it gets to the point until like the next couple of levels ahead, well, even then though, we'll find out and see what happens there. So anyways, let's move on to the forms of Superstar Road -3, and we'll change the Toad's color into blue, so naturally it just makes it a little bit more of a water themed level. So here we go, on to Star Coin Deep Dive. So even then, yeah, we got to come across into a lot of cheeps here, so I don't suppose we can come across into the forms of that specific cheap jump, aren't we? Oh wait, I'm guessing, yep, he's gonna be still there, so yeah, everything else will be matter. So I'll take my invincibility frames for that first star coin. But again, I do apologize by the forms of some of those news announcements again, because of how the fact that the only things I can honestly remember is of course Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna come out during tomorrow, which again, I'm really hyped for it. And I really can't wait until whenever I play it. So even then, I'm also able to play the entire portion of the game for this time around, because either way though, I'm saving the majority of the rest of the Kingdom Hearts games until whenever we get to the actual Let's Plays, most notably by the forms of the PlayStation 4 counterparts. Well, DS games aside, that I might as well able to do it from there. So even then though, that's why only things are concerned. Oh, Jesus, really? But anyways though, the third and final star coin is very simple to get, so of course we need to worry about these bloopers right there from this point now. And truth be told, we've made it from here, so there we go. So yeah, you get the idea with Superstar Road. Obviously, in order to actually unlock the true final level in New Super Luigi is that once again, just like in the forms of New Super Mario Bros. U, well, we still need to able to gather all of the every single star coins in the any kind of level. So even then, once you're done with all that, then you would able to actually unlock the true final level, or in this case the 9th level in Superstar Road. So anyways though, let's move on to Superstar Road -4, and we'll switch over now to Toadette and just head on to Hammer Swing Hangout. I'm hoping we actually come across into the forms of that specific Super Crown on this level though, which I'm sure enough, there is one here. And I'm quite surprised we're still able to actually save one of those Super Crowns in the forms of that specific moment's notice, especially because of how the fact that I'm still saving one, and as soon as I'm able to actually just use that at any point. But even then, you know, you get the idea, so of course, once again, we need to utilize the forms of that hammer swings most of the time. But except this time around, though, we got ourselves these flimperous enemies is now joining in. So even then, though, but the only thing you need to watch out for is, of course, that how the fact that these snowballs will try to hit you. And as a result, if you really want to go after those star coins, then good luck by that. Because obviously, if you not paying attention to that whatsoever, then obviously you might as well come back for that level again. Or else, if you know, you can get the idea. So again, there's not much else I can talk about for this point, honestly, other than, you know, I'm still excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 still, and even then though, it's about goddamn time by the forms of the actual release to come. So even then though, yeah, that's what I can say about it. The only thing I need to be excited for later on down the road will be Kingdom Hearts Virtual Reality Experience, which either way though, I don't know exactly when that's going to come out, but even then though, it's going to be exclusive onto the PlayStation Virtual Reality device after all, because obviously Virtual Reality was a thing. So even then though, yeah, you get the idea. Alright, so that's it for that level done. And I believe we're now going to be moving on to, I believe we're on the halfway point already in Superstar Road. So, Anyways, now let's move on to Superstar Road -5 under construction, and let's go ahead and switch over now to Nabbit. Even though this might be the only time we're going to be able to do with this particular level with only just selecting Nabbit, but then again, I'll come back for this level later on, until whenever I decide to replace the purple spaces into blue spaces. I think this is actually the final time doing this, because obviously we're getting close towards the end of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe naturally now, so naturally it just makes it a little bit more of a count. So even then, who needs that fire flower anyway? And plus, I don't really think it's not possible to able to reach to 99 lives at this point, because obviously, we've already just managed to able to actually show off every single character's offers, and you know, you get the idea for the solution, so... And speaking of such, if we go up there, there's a 16-bit version of Luigi, to be more specifically, that's based off from Super Mario All-Stars in the Super Mario World version. See, Nintendo, pretty interesting Easter egg, I should say, because either way, for those of you who may as well be familiar with the forms of Super Mario World game, especially by the forms of the Super Mario All-Stars version of that specific game, then that sprite will heavily influence that. So even then, that's about it from there. Alright, so it looks like we've already got ourselves, I would say it before, about 4 more levels left. See, Fernando, we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. See, then, let's go and switch back to Luigi. And, for the most part, as far as the next level suggests, I think I should probably, use my, propeller mushroom for a little bit. Just because the next level we're going to be hitting to is probably the most difficult level in the entire game. At least, as far as the second most difficult level, I feel like, is the forms of Firebar Sprint. Now, the reason why this levels can be kind of difficult at points is because we need to do a lot of timing requirements. Even then, though, it doesn't matter what power-ups you're going to be using. So even then, on my mark, and go. And then, basically, yeah, this is what happens most of the time, especially because these fire bars are goddamn ridiculous when it comes to hitboxes, so... But as long as you can able to time yourselves well enough just fine, then you would able to actually bypassing it. The first 2 star coins aren't so much of a big of a deal, but the third and final one is the real challenge, just because, well, you have to make your way there. Oh, no, it happened again. Oh, jeez, it's been like in the original New Super Luigi U Let's Play over and over again. I guess I might as well come back for that later. In fact, let me just have to be quite a little bit of a cheating going on here, and able to actually select Nabbit from this level, just because, I don't know about you, but I'm just, want to move on to the next Let's Plays and onwards, because even then, you know, you get the idea. So anyways, let's switch over to, Nabbit right there, just in case to get this level done and over with. Yeah, for the third and final star, it's actually the ultimate challenge of this level, just because, well, you really can't afford to get hit for about twice, just because, well, assuming if what power-ups you'd be using, either the fire flower, or the ice flower, or the flying squirrel power-up, or even the actual P acorn, or P jet, if you will, and especially noticeable by the forms of, what else is there? Oh yes, the forms of, oh, jeez, I keep on forgetting. Oh, yeah, the propeller mushroom or the penguin suit. I don't think the penguin suit might not help, but either way, though, I don't know if I'm concerned about that. So anyways, let's just end this level for propers. And there we go, we are done with the Firebar Sprint. So, thanks to the forms of Nabbit by the forms of that specifically for that third and final star coin. Even though, again, it's a bit cheating, but honestly, because of how the fact that I did manage to done this level for quite so well. Well, except for the very end, just because of that darn hitbox with that firebox is so big. But I digress. So let's move on now to, you know, Superstar Road, -7, and that will have to be by the forms of Cloudy Capers. See, Fernando, yeah, that's what I can really tell for this point. So, even then, let's go and get into it. See, Fernando, let's go ahead and, get some power-ups from here, especially for the forms of that specifically, fire flowers to be more exact, and we'll go ahead along here. See, Fernando, obviously we need to able to keep on farming those, oh no, not so much for farming, but in the forms of like, in order to actually proceed to this level, is that you need to keep on, killing those Lakitus, because if you do, then you would able to actually proceed for the level. See, Fernando, that's all you essentially can do. However, though, the only thing you need to keep in mind is the fact that those clouds doesn't last for a long time, so naturally we need to able to be extremely careful for the most part, especially because of how the fact that if you mess up at least once or twice, especially at the very end, and if you fell down to the bottomless pit below, then you have to redo the entire level over again. So even then though, you have to be very cautious and be very careful, so yeah, that's as far as I can go for it. So even then, let's follow that trail of coins and then just get onto that. Thank you. I'm almost gonna get screwed over right there, just because if I do, then I'm also able to redo the entire level over again, as far as my timing skills and requirements, even for the forms of jumps or what have you, so. But there we go then, that's it for that level done. And believe it or not, we only got 2 more levels to go. So even then though, here we are on to Superstar Road-8. In my opinion, easily one of the most difficult levels in the entire new Super Luigi U game. And that will have to be Impossible Pendulums. So even then, and it's a good thing we're actually going to be using Toadette for this level, just for this one specific section alone. Just because, well, we might actually stumble across a Super Crown and stuff. But first, we need to get bypassed for those little spikes, even though they are very, very accurate and very impossible to dodge sometimes, because as far as this level applies, it's impossible in generally. So even then, it could be a lot more possible to able to, like, you know, do it without Peach Head and what have you, even for Nabbit's case, but I really don't know if Nabbit can able to conquer everything in this level, because again, he's incredibly invulnerable to spikes and what have you, but I haven't really tested out for myself, even though I will do at some point whenever I play the game on a go again. But naturally speaking of such, as soon as I finish up with this game, then I'm assuming that Mario needs to able to now go ahead and go back into Super Mario Odyssey at this rate, even by the forms of how that specific matter. You know, once Piranha Plant's DLC fighter arrives on the forms of, specifically on my Nintendo account, then, for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that I can able to go back into that game for real. So even then though, as soon as I'm able to, whatever. I'll take the invincibility frames, but whatever, I'll take it anyway. So, I think this might actually be the final time we're going to be seeing this particular fireworks display now, because obviously we're now approaching towards the end. So, we only got 1 more level to go. But before we do that, on the other hand though, because, well, first of all, let's see what power-up we got. We got the fire flowers, so that's all there is to know. And, another thing is worth mentioning though, is the fact that after all, we only got about, 1 more purple space to get rid of, and then once that's been done completely, then we can simply move on to the true final level in the game. So, yeah, things can get a little bit more exciting for this point, so, yeah. And once again, we got ourselves the 4th star in our profile, which, again, only requires that if you manage to unlock the true final level in the game, which, again, I'll, point things out right away, but even then, though, yeah, let's just go ahead and switch to, Blue Toad, and able to actually go through under construction level at this point, and let's just go ahead and use the Super Acorn and whatnot, so even then, though, just in case I can able to finish off the level as quick as possible. So anyways though, as far as star requirements goes with New Super Luigi U, it's basically exactly the same as New Super Mario Bros. U. Like for star number 1, you have to simply just beat Bowser. And for second star, you need to collect every single star coins except Superstar Road. And you have to complete every single stages except Superstar Road. And star number 4 is that obviously you need to unlock the true final level in the game. And the 5th and final star is obviously 3 different methods, or 3 methods you have to require. Now, one method number 1 is that you need to complete every single levels, including Superstar Road, and collect every single star coins, including from Superstar Road, and finally catch Nabbit for 1 through 7. So even then though, that's as far as the star system goes, that's all I can really say about this. So even then, let's go ahead and save our game quickly, and we'll jump into the true final level in New Super Luigi U, and also the true final level in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. Now once that's been done, then we are done with the game completely. So even then though, here we go with the forms of Flying Squirrel Observation. I think that's what the actual level itself is called, but again, correct me if I'm wrong about the spelling error transmission, but either way though, I'll consuming it's to so. So anyways. So yeah, this level, I feel like it feels a little bit more tolerable to me compared to the forms of Follow That Shell from New Super Mario Bros. U, just because, well, the problem I have with the forms of Follow That Shell level is because well, if you don't keep things up, then obviously you will able to get yourself screwed over with this all kinds of stuff. Even by default, so they're keeping up with the pace of the shell and stuff. But I digress. But hey, on the plus side though, with this particular level itself, at least it's a little bit more easier side of things. The only thing you need to worry about though is to do not fall off into the actual level. And here's that little 8-bit Luigi in the background right there, and if we go traverse for this pipe we go, much like in the original New Super Luigi U game, well, obviously there's a thank you screen, so even then, let's see how it does fit for Toad. It got its head sticking out, but not his face. Jeez, what were they thinking? I'm pretty sure it might do the same thing for Toadette as well, so naturally though, could it be possible if Peachette can able to actually fit in that hole? I might as well find out for myself, even I might actually show you right about now. Even then, I'm also able to actually replay the level twice for the sake of like just going for this level with Peachette, and especially noticeable for if it's possible that Nabbit can be playable in this level after. Do you remember on the forms of the Wii U version of New Super Luigi U that if you press the ZL on that specific Wii U gamepad or the Nintendo Wii U Pro controller nowadays, that you can able to actually only access ability where you simply displays your Mii on that specific level. But I'm pretty sure that it might not do that this time around in this version, I'm afraid, but may be wrong. But either way though, let me know in the comments below. So yeah, Peachette will be still playable in this level though, just because you'll be spending most of her time just trying to do some gliding and what have you, and plus you have like more timer than in forms of pretty much everything from before, so naturally speaking, everything else is exactly as it sounds. So even then though, that she can actually just manage to break for the entirety of the level by simply just gliding all the way up to the top right there. But either way though, that's only because of how the fact that, well, Peachette is essentially the easy mode of the game, so even naturally speaking of such, then you know you get the drill for this point. So even then though, let's just go ahead and just be very careful not to get hit by these flying squirrels, because if you do get hit by these flying squirrels, or in this case these little, just flying squirrels in general, then you would, or in this case waddle wings, sorry for a little bit of attention there, and basically if you get hit by those waddle wings, you are seriously gonna get screwed over. So, but let's see what happens if Peachette joins in with the forms of the cardboard cutout of Luigi right there for that thank you screen. Look at that, Peachette does actually manage to fit in there. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So let's just end off the level here, and of course we'll play this level for a final time, but let's see what happens if you manage to able to select Nabbit on this level. Even then, spoiler alert, he might not be playable in this level, because obviously with the lack of power-ups or anything like that that he cannot even use at the time, this means it might be very impossible to use Nabbit on this particular level, so at least we'll give that a go. But even then though, I don't think you can able to place the Miis anymore by the forms of, well, you still can on the extra modes, but I don't think that much this time around though for this particular game. Although again, I may be wrong, but we'll see what happens there. Although let me know in the comments below. So yeah, this is what I mean when it comes to Nabbit is essentially become unplayable in this stage because, well, he doesn't have any flighting altitude, so even then though, pretty useless for him. Boy, I can see why that how the fact that the original Wii U version of the game doesn't allow you to able to actually access to Nabbit on this level just because, well, obviously he'll become incredibly unplayable on this stage. So, yeah, there we go folks, and that was pretty much it when it comes to like, you know, the new Super Luigi U is basically the exact same game as the Wii U version of the game, but obviously with Toadette joins in and Nabbit is fully been joined once again, but naturally speaking that's all there is to the difference. And just like in the forms of New Super Mario Bros. U, well, once again, if you manage to 100% through everything in this game, well, obviously you get yourselves the forms of that, specifically those Toad houses, manage to become blue spaces for, well, forever. So, let's get to the forms of the extra stuff of how this game offers, but just like in the forms of New Super Mario Bros. U on the New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, not much to show off, aside from those two things. The extra stuff number one is the fact that, let me save my game quickly, and let's just try and demonstrate it with, not this level though, because it just features a Chasing Nabbit segment, but, on the other hand though, we'll go ahead and select, Rolling Yoshi Hills this time around. So even then though, once we select this level, well, if you manage to beat the main game first, then you would able to realize there's an M block right there, represents the Mario block. So let's go ahead and activate this. hitting this block will change the character physics to match those of, New Super Mario Bros. U. The effects will last until you exit the course. So, but even then though, this time around though, on the other hand though, when it comes to the comparison to the forms of the original version of New Super Luigi U, if you select the actual if you select the character by the forms of Nabbit, basically Nabbit will no longer gonna be able to actually just to say that it won't affect on Nabbit at all in the forms of the comparison to the original Wii U version of the game. But it turns out that if you select Nabbit, if you manage to activate the actual physics block, that way you're able to change the physics now. See, even then though, a little bit interesting change here and there, but nothing significant about it. See, even then though, that's all it does. Basically, it just changes into New Super Mario Bros. U physics and all that stuff, and that's about it. But honestly, I don't think I can able to use that as much, because the majority of New Super Luigi U, as far as this game suggests, requires of Luigi's physics most of the time. See, even then though, I guess that makes the purely obvious sense for this matter. But there we go. I think that's the only extra things we can think of. Aside from this final thing we can show off is, of course, the Secret Island, which I'm assuming is exactly the same thing as New Super Mario Bros. U mode. Like, you still have this little records status, and especially noticeable how the fact that the Nintendo Switch console was still a thing too, as you can see on the far right of the screen, and it shows you the same status, but the only major difference is the fact that Luigi was on there instead of Mario. What's odd is the fact that Mario is the only time that makes his appearance by the forms of like carrying the companions type of status right there, which even then is kind of odd. But anyways though, let's go ahead and hit this little button right there, and basically it shows us the exact same credits, staff credits as from the Mario version, but either way though, it feels pretty much unchanged. So yeah, let's get to my final thoughts of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe in general. It's not that bad, even by the faults of the Wii U port of the game, even though I will say though is that every game won't be nearly as perfect as I was hoped. Like, for instance, well, I won't say that much of the original game itself, by the forms of New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U mode itself. I still enjoyed the game, by the forms of the original Wii U version of the game, but as far as replaying it back onto the Nintendo Switch version, I did have a mixed bag with this particular version, is that, well, let's get with the positive things out of the way. The positive thing about this version of the game is that you do have the ability to be able to actually change between characters at any point this time around though, just like in other games like Super Mario Bros. 2 USA and Super Mario 3D World, which I do appreciate about this kind of stuff. But on the other hand though, Toadette is a very nice addition by the forms of the 2D Mario game throughout, but when it comes to like the overall challenge to it, well, I'll get into my major gripes I have with it until whenever we get to the negative things. So, and the visuals do look very, very good. Even nowadays on the handheld mode now, it's now in 720p instead of 480p unlike the Wii U gamepad, which, again, massive improvement over the Wii U version's quality. So even then though, that's as far as I can say about the forms of the positive things of the game, because I still enjoy the gameplay of it still, pretty much the same thing as we used to. But let's get to the negative things before you're able to actually just think about either renting the game, or in this case buy the game for those of you who haven't not owned the Wii U version of the game. The obvious answer is the fact that I hate the fact that the actual mid-air spin is mapped to the same button as the jump button while you're in mid-air. But that's only because it really drives me up the wall, especially because if I was trying to go for the actual like trickier platforming segments, sometimes I lost my footing just because of that. And as a result, sometimes it gives me a lot of trial and error if I accidentally press the mid-air spin by complete accident. And the second and negative thing I can think of is the fact that they did not add anything new around here, aside from Toadette as being a part of a new playable character after all. But apart from that though, nothing else adds here, other than, well, pretty much exactly the same game as the forms of the original versions of the game. But aside from that, that's what I can really think about. And my third and final thing about the negative side of things is the fact that this version overall is way too easy compared to the forms of the original counterparts. This only because that most casual players out there always attempt to play as, well, specifically Nabbit or Toadette most of the time. So, especially if you play as on multiplayer, well, the fourth player have to be forced to able to play as either Toadette or Nabbit. Well, Too bad though for New Super Luigi U though, because even then, the Player 3 and Player 4 always have to be forced to play as Toadette, which is fine, but with Nabbit on the other hand though, it can be pretty game-breaking. But honestly, at the end of the day, I was a little bit disappointed overall. I kinda wish if there was like a new Super Mario Maker in here to be ported over to the Switch, which I could have appreciated if that's gonna happen, but we'll just have to see what happens there. So even then, no. I'm not too impressed of it so far anyway, but as far as I usually go through back for this game on the Switch, I did have a blast for it. So even then, no. Go ahead and buy it if you those of you who do not own the Wii U version, but if you own the Wii U version, well, you might simply pass on it. So, thank you so much guys for watching of our Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I hope you guys do enjoy this playthrough, myself included. This is me, Blossom, here from the likes of the Maxi Toys, and we'll see you guys at some point soon. So even then though, can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 tomorrow, so see you guys then. Bye.